Welcome back to the Battery Podcast. I'm Aidan,
I'm Jack.
And I'm Casey.
and I didn't think it would happen again, but we are coming to you on a victory Monday after the Cannons take down the California Redwoods in their homecoming 15 to 12. Uh,
Don't lose faith, Aiden.
Listen, those last three games were tough watches, but I'll throw it to either one of you. Just how confident were you going into this game, and just how excited were you seeing that result?
I mean, I'm always gonna say that I believe in the boys, but yeah, your confidence definitely gets shaken after the last few games, but you're always hoping for a win, and you hear a little bit of chatter. I think I'm loving that new show that Keegan is putting out, The Scoop,
Yeah,
on YouTube, and he's talking to Drew Carter in the preview episode this week about how it seems like every single time a team has a chance to get some separation at the top of the league, they lose.
yeah.
And so they're using that as a reason, like, oh, maybe the Redwoods won't get it done. The Cannons pick up a W, and obviously was I was like, hey, you know what? Good point, but I don't know if I truly took that to heart. If I'm gonna be honest, I was like, oh yeah, okay, like sure, because yeah, this league parity, whatever. But and then even throughout the game, you start to feel good, and especially in the second half, Cannons got some breathing room, and there were a couple of times where they put in a couple of goals, and you start to think, all right, like we got some room here, like things are going well, and then it takes one Redwoods goal where I'm like, oh no, please don't. Like every single time the Redwoods scored, even if they only cut the deficit from like 5-4, I was like, ooh, uh, please don't let this be the start of a run. And thank God it never was.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about like the Redwoods going on a little run. Obviously, they didn't really, because Cannons wound up winning the game. But like this game, similar to last week against New York, could have and should have been a lot more lopsided. But the Redwoods really got bailed out by Dylan Ward, particularly in the first
What
half.
what a performance by him. And actually, I was kind of surprised it looking at the stats after the game. Kirst had a higher save percentage
Hmm.
than Ward did, which blew me away, honestly, because it felt like Dylan Ward was just standing on his absolute head, especially in that first half.
Yeah, well, in the first half, he definitely was ahead of Kirst in save percentage. But I think like Coach Holman said like during the halftime, he's like, like Dylan Ward, like we could be ahead by more, but like Dylan Ward's playing out of it like at 80% or whatever it is. We'll see if he can keep that going. I'm not sure he can. And I think maybe contrary to Entenmann, who like, he has a very wide stance, but it's not super exploitable necessarily. Whereas Dylan Ward is famous for playing so high out, even outside the crease at sometimes, which definitely does have the obvious counter of quick passing, from one side of the field to the other. Um, and he still made a couple saves on some desperation plays, but I think particularly in the second half, the Cannons were able to exploit some of those a little bit better. Just get him moving side to side where he either can't get properly set or he's set but still kind of panicking and doesn't see the shot very well. And yeah, I mean, just got to give the offense a lot of credit. Um, dare I say it, we're not unique in this takes, but it kind of seemed like Brian Kelly heard the talk that he was not aggressive enough going towards the goal.
That was exactly the thought that I had. He was all over it. I think he finished with 3-2.
Yep.
So good night from him. That is what you want from your ex attackman. And it, like we said it on the pod. We had fans submitting it through Instagram just about who we need more production from X, and boy did he deliver. That felt really good to see Brian Kelly come back and have a statement game like that, akin to, the other win that
Yeah.
the Cannons had in that first game against the Water Dogs, where he was aggressive. He had some unreal shots. His attacking from X and fading away from the net, and to be able to fire it back top side so hard like that is just it's a thing of beauty, man.
Yeah, that is a like if anyone is questioning how difficult that shot is, please go to your local high school or park and try it. It is really tough to hit a low to high fading away from the goal. To say nothing of a defender being in your face like that. Um, and then on the not the other side necessarily because Kelly's at X, but Coulter Maxey also having um
A
not quite
thing
a
of
career game.
beauty.
Yeah, he tied a high in points, but set a high in goals with four because his 6 point game against the Water Dogs, he did have a 2 pointer in there. Um, I mean, things were humming for him. Finding the ball, like again, being aggressive and getting towards the goal, getting his shots off.
And
Uh,
that's another guy that we were talking about just last week, felt like he was timid and wasn't being aggressive. So
yeah,
that was really good to see from him.
yeah. Um, Another couple bright spots. I mean, obviously, we want to give everyone on the offense and defense their flowers. Jack Regneri, this is what I texted you guys late last night. Jack Regneri definitely belongs in this league. He is so
Amen.
quick, so fast, shoots the ball really hard, and has the confidence to go out there too. Um, I don't know, like if just innate in him is what I assume the answer is, or if like Coach Holman has just done a really good job of hyping him up because yeah, he looks like he belongs in that league.
I think that's just who he is, because
Yeah.
he's got that swagger about him too. I mean, the he had two goals yesterday, I believe. And the first one, that face dodge to a twister, and then the second one, just the spin move, putting the defender on skates and still going off shoulder to bury it on the open net. You could tell that he's just got that swagger when he
Yeah.
plays, and just is out there trying to have fun. Like he plays like he's just playing in the backyard every single time.
Yeah, he is playing like he's having a lot of fun out there, and we're definitely having fun watching him. The only downside I would say is it doesn't seem like he's very comfortable shooting with his offhand. I definitely saw some times where maybe he could have gone lefty, but kept fighting back to his right. Um,
Mm.
we hope that develops, but it's not like one-handed players can't have success in the league. And if you shoot the ball as well as he does, also want to say 2 for 4 shooting from Jack Regneri yesterday, so a much more efficient percentage, and perhaps more appropriate volume. I'm glad took the shots when he had it and sunk a couple.
Agreed.
Yeah. Um, let's see, a couple more. I mean, I want to sing Graydon Hogg's praises. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he only finished with 1 point, 1 goal, but he was just such an effective off-ball player. It really feels like it's that like Canadian vibe, right? Where they just like there's so much less space in the box game, so they get so much better at manipulating it.
Hmm.
And I forget which goal. I want to say it was one of McAtee's, maybe one of Weissar's, but he's just set such an effective pick that it just basically just let Mikey Weissar just run through the middle of the crease unbothered, untouched. Um, and yeah, he's probably going to bury that one. So, um, want to give all the props to Hogg, even if he doesn't show up in the spreadsheet or the stat sheet for setting a pick like that. Um, yeah, he's you understand why he stays in the lineup even without necessarily a lot of production on the
Yeah,
scoreboard.
well, Ryan Boyle was talking about that on the broadcast, just the offensive movement that the Cannons had, that they were being really effective with the pick game. That was a really strong part of
Hmm.
the game plan last night, and clearly it worked.
Yeah. Um, yeah, you hope this is a game that the Cannons really can build off of and that they see what they did well. They see how they can attack matchups. They see what kind of matchups maybe they like. And, I guess we got the All-Star break now, so they can't take it into too much momentum into next week or yeah, into next week because there's no game that counts. But, I mean, we were both feeling pretty miserable after how the Cannons lost to Philly and New York in back-to-back weeks, or Maryland, Philly, and then New York in back-to-back-to-back weeks. Um, so yeah, it's a non-con win, but still, to spoil a team's homecoming. To again, I gotta check the shot total. 46 to 42. So it was a lot closer, but again, in the first half, it was very lopsided in favor of the Cannons, and Dylan Ward was the only thing that kept them in the game.
Yeah. Well, and then it was just a tale of two halves too. I mean, it was insane to go from a 4-2 game at
Yep,
halftime. The first goal not until I think 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And then we wind up with a 15-12 game. I was thinking constantly throughout the game that, my score prediction, I forget exactly what it was, but I thought we were gonna have some offensive fireworks. I think I might have said 17-15
I think
or
so.
something like that. And I was thinking throughout that entire first half, I was like, boy, how wrong was I? This is the exact opposite of what I predicted. But hey, it opened up a little bit in the second half, so
Yep.
ended up not being too wrong.
Yeah. I was thinking of that too because I know you specifically predicted a really high scoring game, and I mean all the credit to Ward and to Kirst.
Yep.
But yeah, I think both offenses found a better flow in the second half,
Hmm.
clearly. Um, but I did, talking of Colin Kirst, we got to give him some props as well for, I believe, his best game of the year. 15 saves on 27 shots. 12 goals. No two-pointers for either team in this one.
Hmm.
Just checking. Oh no, sorry, the 80% game against the Water Dogs obviously was his best game, but that's such a fluke in so many ways that you kind of want to throw it out. Um, whereas this was like a real game that was close and competitive a good
Right.
chunk of the way through. Um, but I mean, just it really felt like he was getting shots that he was comfortable seeing, but he just looked so much more confident and comfortable. And I saw like right at the end of the game, he and Jack Keelty like hugging and just like screaming in each other's faces, just happy to be back in the win column.
I mean, yeah, the whole team, you could tell that it was cathartic. Like
Hmm.
they needed that win. We needed that that win. That was really necessary to start to feel good about yourselves again.
Right. I mean, you lose that game, and especially if Maryland had won as well, like that would feel, if there's a 4-2 and you're 1-5, that feels almost unattainable. But now, right, Cannons are 2-4, but the Whips are only 3-3s, right? So they play again. And even so, there's six more games to go. So they just got to win one more than the Whips or one more than the Water Dogs, or Atlas. And they still have that great goal differential, right? They're 2-4, but only a -2 because
Yeah.
we won a game by 14.
Right. Yeah, I mean they're back in the playoffs now at this exact moment because obviously the Philly is still playing as we're recording. So looking at the standings, technically the Cannons have the 3 seed in the East thanks to that goal differential, with Philly being in last again because of their goal differential.
Oh, this is that situation because they're 2-2, right?
Philly
Philly?
is 2-2, and the
Yeah,
Cannons are 2-4, so technically tied because they both have 2 wins, but
yeah,
-2 is better than -7.
it is. But I mean, that's that situation that it really should be about win percentage first rather than
Oh,
total
it should
points.
be. It
Yeah,
absolutely should be, but hey,
We don't
that's
make the
not what the
rules.
PLL does.
right. And
I
obviously
mean,
Philly's going to make up.
obviously
Yeah,
it'll even out in the end, so it doesn't matter. But it's just funny that if the season ended at this exact second, the Cannons would make the playoffs and the Water Dogs would lose.
yeah, and that, especially if that happened because the Water's played two fewer games, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Um, I think a couple more positive things I want to say, and then um, I don't know where to go from there. I guess we're not previewing another game, but
Yeah.
um, after after his career high performance, I wanted to give Owen Grant a lot of credit for shutting down Dylan Malloy.
Hmm.
He had one goal on the day, and I think it was a man up goal pretty late in the game, so kind of an unsettled situation that wasn't necessarily Grant's fault. Um, Like we saw Malloy own a physical matchup last week, and he just couldn't do that against OG. Um, and I think that, they obviously have other initiators, other party starters. Chris Kavanagh, I think had a decent game, and Ryder Garnsey switched down to attack, did pretty well. Um, but I mean, Owen Grant, like Malloy's not going to get 7 goals in back-to-back games, but he just he after a pretty crappy game against New York, giving up the game-winning goal on the man up, or rather when Boston was a man up
Yeah.
to lock in like this, and I mean, didn't have a huge game statistically, just one caused turnover, no ground balls, but like they often say, like the best defensive performances don't always show up on the stat sheet, and the better stat sheet performance is just to see zeros on the guy you're guarding. So, yeah, felt really good. Will Donovan did a great job on Chris Kavanaugh for the most part throughout the game. Um, who else?
I mean, I was impressed
Keelty on
with.
Bame. Yeah, Keelty
Oh,
on Bame,
sorry.
and then no, sorry, I was just trying to think of the matchups from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donovan on Kavanaugh did great, which is funny because they were teammates up until last year, right? So you figure they must have gone against each other in practice a good amount of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. Say what you were gonna
No,
say.
I was just I guess you were still on the. Do you have any other defensive shout outs to make? Because I was going to transition a little bit.
No, I think yeah, just wanted to talk about Grant shutting down
Yeah.
Malloy.
I just wanted to give some flowers to McMeekin that I thought he held his own. Obviously TD Erlin is a beast, and they still won the face-off battle overall. It was the Cannons were 42%, Redwoods 58, and then if you look individually, TD Erlin, yeah, TD Erlin went 60%. McAdory took one face-off and lost it. Whereas for the Cannons, McMeekin was 45%, and then Kirst lost two face-offs.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I wanted to see from the face-off acts. Like it feels so good to have confidence in a Fogo that that he might not win the battle, he might not go 50-50, but he's going to be close enough to get you a possession and keep you in the game. And there were a couple of times where I think the Redwoods scored a goal, and then Erlin won the face-off clean, and the Redwoods went right down and scored like within 10 seconds. But then McMeekin won the very next face-off clean straight away, and his possession shot, he missed the cage. But the fact that you have a guy like that is able to just stay locked in and get a very crucial win like that is just, I think, going to make a world of difference for this team. Obviously, statistically, just getting the ball more often, but I think we talked about it as well, just the confidence factor now of knowing that, hey, we need this face off, and we have a guy that can go and get this face off.
Yeah, um he was also like he was doing like he was relying a lot on the pinch and pop. So it's like if he didn't get the ball immediately, then it would often wind up with TD. But like he was getting it frequently enough that strategy's working, and he's very fast and able to push the ball. I think he's had an assist in 3 straight games now. I think it's basically all been to Marcus Holman on the fast break. Hasn't
Mhm.
gotten that first goal yet. I'm sure that'll happen. Like,
It felt like it was coming. He had
yeah,
so many possession shots that felt like they went just over or just wide. He had. I was genuinely surprised but happy with how many clean straightaway face-off wins he had
yeah.
yesterday. And when you win it forward that many times, eventually one of those is going to get buried.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you can only assist Marcus Holman so many times before someone says, "Hey, all right, we're going to stop sliding off Marcus Holman and
Hmm.
let the rookie faceoff guy go in and shoot." And yeah, you give him enough of those. One of them's going in. And I also wanted to say from the other perspective of, California scores to make it 13-10 with 4:13 to go. And then
Yeah.
I don't remember who won the next face-off, but it's like with Tucci or whoever it was before. Basically, Boston's never had a good face-off guy since 2018 when they drafted Trevor Baptiste, and then he left to go to the PLL. Um, like the the cannons from before when the Redwoods made it 13-10 with 4:13 to go. It's like, all right, well, TD's going to win all the remaining faceoffs. So the cannons are just going to be in that position where there's going to be so much pressure on them because they're going to, score. All right, they're going to get the ball for the 32-second offense. We have to hold them. We have to clear. And then the offense has to basically use the full shot clock to try to wind it down. Um, because it's like if you it just felt like the team's going to play make it take it, so your defense, it just puts so much more pressure on them and on the goalie. Whereas, like I said, McMeekin didn't win the majority, but he had some runs in there, and it still felt pretty 50-50 ish. If he was going to come out, 45% you said is pretty damn close against TD Erlin. um and that's just like, that's not enough to make a comeback, right? If Boston's up by 3 with 4 minutes to go, they can score, they can cut into it, but we know eventually Boston's going to get the ball some of those times. They're going to be able to kill the shot clock. The other team's going to have to come out and press. They can get an easy one, um, or at the very least, they can just take more time off the clock. And it just like it means so much to have that weapon that it almost felt like Boston's been the only team without one for a while. I'm sure. I know Utah didn't feel that way last year with like Sisselberger getting hurt basically in training camp. Yeah, he's a big boost to the team, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning, too.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. It still
Yeah.
feels like there's some adjustments you have to make to when you come to the PLL, like no matter what
Sure.
position, but especially face-offs and just knowing how quick everything is and how
Hmm.
like they literally move the face-off wings in, so like the guys are on you faster. Um,
Yeah.
and they're probably faster players overall, right? Because it's the pros.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and he was an undrafted guy too. And granted, with 32 picks, it can be tough to justify taking a face-off specialist unless it's Trevor Baptiste. But still, to come into the league late, because obviously he won a national championship too. It's not like he got to go to training camp and settle in. Like he
Hmm.
Right.
was kind of just thrown into the fire, and to show this much promise this early on is
Hmm.
it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So I think we said we were going to do this. We didn't. We haven't done a great job of it so far, but just wanted to give an update on Marcus Holman's
Yeah.
progress towards the all-time goals record. So as of
Hmm.
Okay.
now, the halfway point of the season, he is 19 behind. So we need 19 to tie and 20 to take the lead with 6 games to go. Hopefully, plus at least one playoff game. Hopefully three. Um, so
Or
basically,
two,
yeah. I mean,
technically.
Shannon's got the 1 seed. That something went very wrong for the Whip Snakes.
If we take that spot, I will fly. I will fly home. I will fly home on a whim for sure.
Yeah, to watch that playoff game.
Hmm.
So yeah, so he had a good game today with another hat trick. I think he had two against New York. So he hasn't. I guess he was 28 behind when the season started. So not as maybe not as productive a couple games as he would like to be or need to be to get to that mark. But um
But you said it's 19 to tie and 20 to win, and he's got 6 games
16.
so
to
he
go.
basically, yeah, he
So
needs
that's a
to average
hat
ahead.
trick a game,
Yeah,
essentially.
right. And this downside that the 2-pointers don't count for more. Because you
Oh,
feel like
Right. Yeah. Because
he
it's
has
still just one goal.
right, he has one or two already this year. You figure he's probably got a couple more in him. Um,
But
yeah, I
that's
mean,
fair, though.
yeah, it's amazing how, I'm not disagreeing with the ruling. It's just like, oh man, it's not the points
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
Speaking of
yeah.
which, Rob Pennell so close to the all-time points record, um, as well. 8 points would have been a lot for him to break the record. Uh, in that game, but you know, only one, I think, and it was like it came pretty late on. Um, sorry if we wanted to switch to talking about other. Um,
Well, one thing with
Well,
Marcus, I just want to mention really quick, um, is just at the very end of the game when he had gotten like double teamed
mm,
by California, and you see him go down like face first, basically. And his, I think it was his right hand went under him awkwardly. And then
mm,
after the game, as he was like walking off the field to go talk to, I don't remember her name, but to go get interviewed, he had taken his glove off and he was like, like flexing his hand and like looking at it. So I am never the one who wants to look at the negative, but we do have to definitely like just watch out for that. Maybe it will turn into absolutely nothing,
mm.
or maybe it will be something that, hey, he can rest up over the All-Star break.
Yeah, I hope so. It was Campbell, Rawl, and Holman was an all-star as
I
well.
was just looking. It's Campbell, Rawl, and Marcus is one of the
Yeah.
three that got named. So technically, he's planning to be in Annapolis next weekend. But if there's anything going on, obviously
Yeah.
you take that week off.
Yeah, obviously
Hmm.
Campbell won't be there either, so I guess good.
Well,
Well,
we don't know. All we know is that I think was that he was definitely going to miss these two games.
but
I
it's
can't
like,
imagine he would come back for that,
yeah,
but technically,
yeah, like he could participate in like a skills competition, like depending on what the injury is.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, the the coaching staff, the fans,
I don't think,
his
yeah.
family, like we're not risking the injury in the All-Star game.
I think Ethan Rawl might be the only one to actually put on a helmet next
Yeah,
week
and
from
I'm
the
fine with that.
Cannons. Agreed.
I feel like we have to do like a special injury report because there's just quite a few. There's one too many
Yeah,
players right now that have some things gone, or we're just players that we're not sure about, like Trainer.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where is he?
A gray area for sure. We'll
Yeah.
have to try to get
And
some answers on that during the break. Uh,
yeah.
because that was, speaking maybe the only negative part of the game yesterday was, Logan Ip, a late addition to the roster with the injury to Marquez White. I mean, that's also pretty negative, right? That he had to miss after getting hurt in
Hmm.
practice the night before. But
Yeah.
Logan Ip did not really have an impact on the game. Um,
No,
He almost had a shot once.
and yeah, I don't get that a D mid gets hurt. Trainer is on the protected roster. Why are you putting in a sixth offensive midfielder instead of
right.
Trainer?
I mean, clearly they rather would have Connor Kirst play D. Um,
Yeah, it just I
but
don't
yeah,
know that
like
that we don't need to dive into that.
no, it does. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Teddy Malone had a nice couple games for Chaos before their full complement of players arrived. Yeah, could have been good if. Yeah, I don't know. And obviously Logan still has a lot of time to turn things around, and and
It's
for
only what, his second time playing
second
in
game,
a
yeah,
game? Yeah.
yeah. And I guess he didn't even well, he would have practiced, but he wasn't necessarily preparing to be in the game.
Yeah. Well, and I guess we did shout out Mark the it would have been cool for Marquez White to make his PLL debut in San Diego as a SoCal boy.
Yeah.
Logan Ip is also a
Yep.
SoCal boy, so not that you should make your roster decisions based off of stuff like that, but I do wonder if there was a part of Brian that said, we can just bump Connor Kirst down to D mid and put Logan Ip in as our fifth midfielder.
Yeah.
It, but you know what? I do also want to just shout out. It did not statistically make an impact on the game, but JC Higginbotham did
Yes.
see a little bit of time
Yeah.
because Kirst just dove into a dog pile and cross-checked someone on the ground.
Yeah,
Like
that
that was wild. You know, they're
If that's
talking
not a
about it.
goalie thing.
no,
They were talking about it even before the game, the 2023 matchup with the Cannons of the Redwoods in Dallas, where Marcus basically tackled, I think it was
Cole
Cole
Kirst.
Kirst.
Yeah,
But I don't think of Cannons Redwoods as a rivalry,
no,
but they
They were a little
brought
chippy.
they
yeah,
brought up that matchup for some reason even before the game, and I'm like, why are like, yeah, like I guess that was a dust up, but that was 3 years ago. It's not like it was the last time that they met. Like, why are we trying to say that this is some sort of rivalry? And then all of a sudden, yeah, it was kind of a chippy game at moments. Hogg shoved someone towards the end of, I don't know if it was the first quarter or the second quarter, but I think it was
I
at
thought it was
halftime. He
Kavanaugh that I couldn't. I
Kavanaugh
think it was
got no, Kavanaugh got in the mix in the in 2023. He like
Matt
came
Kavanaugh.
into, yeah, Matt
oh no, I was
Kavanaugh.
thinking about Chris.
Oh, this game. No,
Yeah.
Kavanaugh, he might Graydon Hogg, like he
Hmm.
got uh de-twigged and like then shoved someone right at the end of the half. So it was just very weird that like it didn't boil over or turn into much. It was basically just that uh penalty that Kirst took and then the hog shove, but two separate kind of heated moments that I just
Hmm.
would not have expected from this matchup in
Mm-mm.
particular.
Right, Cannon's Water Dog, sure, but
Cannon's Atlas,
yeah,
even Cannon's
Cannon's
Whip Snakes,
anybody.
any of the any of the Eastern Conference matchups, but yeah, don't know where the kind of the low key beef with the Redwoods came in. So who should make for an exciting finale for our
Mhm.
homecoming though in August.
oh, definitely, yeah. Or hopefully the Redwoods will not be getting their revenge.
Right.
No.
But
Yeah. Anything else to say before we wrap things up here?
I just want to quickly say, shifting away from the cannons, thank God that the Outlaws beat the Whips 13-7.
Yeah.
I love
love to
seeing
see
that.
you love to see a Western Conference team beat an Eastern Conference team when the Eastern Conference team is not the Cannons.
Yeah. And
Yes.
that, especially beating them by so much, uh,
Hmm.
brings the Whips goal differential down a lot. I mean, the Outlaws have the number one goal differential, whatever. That doesn't really, it's not going to affect the Cannons unless the Cannons are in line for like the first overall seed, which also doesn't really matter because there's no home field advantage. So, yeah, whatever. They can have as good a goal differential as they want. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, that was huge to totally shut them down. Uh,
Hmm.
the Teforton offense finally back. Although I saw they switched Brendan O'Neill to midfield and put Jared Bernhardt back at attack for a bit in the second half. Was interesting to see. It feels like the handedness and whatever lines up better that way. But yeah, it was interesting to see that finally happen, and obviously it worked. But yeah, I mean, man, that's the Cannons' next opponent, I believe, in Chicago.
In Chicago, that sounds yeah, correct. Yeah, the
Okay.
Cannons Outlaws July 11th, 2 p.m.
Yep. So we will see. Hopefully, only the Cannons learned from this week's game on how the Cannons can win and what the Outlaws need to do well to win. Um,
Yes.
'Cause, yeah, I mean they look scary. Thank them for their work this week. Um, Definitely appreciate like I said, for them to be just 3-3 and Boston now 2-4 seems so much more hopeful. Um,
Right.
yeah, and then we'll keep our fingers crossed. We're recording this as Philly and Utah are playing, and then Carolina and uh,
California.
California. The final game doesn't necessarily affect Boston, but I don't know. I kind of hope the streak of the team winning the second day of the homecoming continues.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's not an impact for the Cannons on that one, so I think you gotta root for the homecoming team as well, just for throw them a bone, let them let the local
Yeah,
fans get a win.
Yeah, I mean they
Although I
went.
guess one other game just to touch on briefly, the local fans did already get a win,
Yep.
Hmm.
WLL. So shout out to the Palms. That
Yeah.
glad that the California fans did get to see a win, and also glad that a New York team lost.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's good too.
I
California kept Izzy Skane to only 2 goals,
yeah.
which is awesome. Like,
So the one
good.
downside to that though is I think if New York had won, it would have technically given Boston a slightly better chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, because New York would.
They'd be
Well, I
3
don't
and
know.
0. They'd be 3 and 0 and secure their spot, and then California would be 1 and 2 with a negative goal differential. So then
Yeah,
Boston would need to obviously win their remaining 2 games, and if that doesn't happen, whatever. But if Boston wins their remaining 2 games, California loses their remaining game, then it comes down to goal differential. Whereas now New York's 2 and 1, California's 2 and 1, and I believe is the Charm. Are they 1 and 1 or they must be 1 and 1? Yeah,
I think they're one. Well, so still, but everyone's capable of finishing 2-2, and then you just figure out the goal differential.
yeah, yeah. Man, if the whole league is 2 and 2 and it just if it does come down to goal differential, that would be. There's going to be a
That'd
very
be great.
frustrated team that doesn't make the playoffs if that or the
Two,
championship game. Yeah. Oh yeah, there'll be two
two
very
frustrated
frustrated teams.
teams.
But like if I don't know if one of those if Boston no Boston would have to have a pretty good goal differential. If someone's two and
Yeah,
two but their goal differential is like -12, it feels like all right, we get it. But
but if it's
if it's like a
within
negative, if it's like
biting
a +2
distance,
versus -2.
yeah.
Um, all right. So I guess.
Looks like the Water Dogs
Oh no!
Archery's
Wait,
just
wait,
gonna.
wait, wait.
Just kidding. Never mind. Disregard.
I muted my computer. I did not hear that.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Um.
Never mind. We'll let Aiden watch the game.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we will hopefully be back later this week or next with an interview. We're going to try to line that up with a player. Um, we're going to wish Ethan Rawl all the best in the All-Star game and wish Marcus and Matt a quick and speedy recovery so that they are ready to take on the Denver Outlaws on July 11th. Um, all right, so we will be back at some point next week to preview that game with the Outlaws, if nothing else. But until then, go Cannons, go Guard.
Go Cannons, go Guard.
Go Cannons, go Guard.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom.